This beautiful Chinese woman has gained a lot of popularity on the internet because of her beauty, but unbelievably, she is considered a fat model in China. And you didn't hear wrong, because the fact is that Yue Dabao considers herself a plus-size model in China.
Go ahead.
Mr. Z, have you seen the new Asian chicks now necessarily, right? In China, what they doing?
What?
Okay, now we have the rise of the big booty Asian chick, bro, and it's starting to take. Nah, bro, you gotta see. I put the clip in necessarily in the private chat right there. It's a Instagram video, right? But literally now we have I'm gonna call them the new built Asians, right? It's the Koreans and the Asian chicks, basically. Like, I don't know if you ever seen Koreans, but
before this video gets started, I want to make two disclaimers. The first is that I have something in common with Sir Mix-a-Lot. I like big butt. The second disclaimer is that there will be several references to an A word that's represented by the peach emoji often in pop culture. Something that, again, I'm quite fond of. And about this, I cannot lie. If you are a quote-unquote XY, Gen Xer, or younger from the West, you are well aware of a campaign to attempt to redefine beauty for men. Of course, this is called body positivity, but it goes under a variety of names, including the celebration of Lizzo and the plus-sized model / entertainer.
Is this cake?
No, it's not. Oh, it's kidding. And there was no plan to pray.
Unbelievably, she is considered a fat model in China. And you didn't hear wrong, because the fact is that Yue Dabao considers herself a plus-size model in China. But the fact—
I first came across Yue Dabao flipping through social media, and I thought nothing more than just, oh, she's a relatively attractive, thick Chinese woman that looks very good walking. But before I continue, I want to give you a little bit more research on her, so this is for research purposes, gentlemen. I fancy myself an open-minded and tolerant individual, so I'll never poo-hoo a young lady who is either naturally plus size or either feels that her genetics / her decision are the reason why she chooses / is plus size. That said, however, it's important to remember that there's a strong social push recently to tell young men that this is a new beauty standard, even if that's not what their first choice might be. A thing that's important to remember is that when you travel, what's plus size in one place where we come from is not necessarily what plus size is somewhere else. And that young lady overseas in Asia that thinks she's plus size might be just right for you.
But the fact is that unlike many Western countries, the Chinese have a different standard of beauty, where the ideal woman is very thin with a delicate silhouette, thin waist, long legs, small buttocks, and a very thin face. In other words, while Yue Dabao is extremely beautiful and exactly the beauty standard of many South American countries, it is very likely that men from her own country would not choose her to marry, since she is considered outside the beauty standards. This just shows us that something that one culture finds beautiful can be very different in other countries.
Bro, if black women lose market share on having ass,
it's truly already over. It's already over.
The first thing I noticed looking at Yue Dabao's TikTok page was the underwhelming number of views on it. For a young lady that is as attractive as she is, I would expect her to have at least tens of thousands of views, but she only has some 20,000 followers. Maybe it's because she's in the West doing the TikTok page, and some say that she has millions of followers in China. That said, it speaks to a disparity in what maybe young Asian men find as attractive. And this might be part of the reason why a young lady like her is struggling when you can see very clearly in Western TikTok and social media that there are young ladies that are, in my opinion, not a third as attractive that are getting a lot more attention. And that speaks to the disparity that men can exploit when we travel, because young ladies like this don't get the kind of attention that they might get in a more, dare I say, accepting area of body positivity.
The fact is that Yue Dabao considers herself a plus-size model in China.
You gotta, what I'm telling you, bro, it's starting to get scary out here. Because when I start going into like the rabbit hole on Instagram, and you start looking out
Zulu,
here,
wait a minute,
like,
wait a minute, Zulu, wait a minute.
Message.
As anyone watching this channel knows, I have a very strong affinity for Mr. Z Black in Effect. And the panel that he had this past weekend, the first one, was absolutely masterful. There is a second part that I would like for you to listen to because it's 10, 20 times more important than this part. But this part was the juicy stuff. And you're going to see why.
I'm saying, you're saying something right now. You're saying something right now.
Hey,
go ahead.
A big booty Asian is a problem.
That is a weapon. That is a weapon for.
That's a weapon.
That weapon will.
Hey, listen.
In my opinion, the chief fallacy in the body positivity argument is that on the intellectual level, you can tell a guy that you should be more attracted to young ladies that are a bit bigger because they have difficulty keeping the weight off and it can allow them to be more of who they actually are. Okay, I can understand that point of view. But what you cannot argue is when in front of that man is standing his ideal body shape and look. And for a lot of young men, African-American men, if she is of quaint size and she has a nice rear end, and my particular fancy is that she is an East Asian young lady who has very muscular lower bodies, and she's athletic, and she has some gluteus maximus sticking out, and she has a little kind of cheerful, gleeful, kind of silly smile. Hey man, body positivity is not going to erase that. And that's why you're hearing the gentleman on this panel get so excited.
Hey, listen.
Look,
usual business. Like if you're talking about like fake Asian chicks, like I suggest like you look at Filipinos. Like
No. Trust me, I know what you're saying, but what I'm telling you, no. They have not, because if you ain't never really seen Korean, because actual Korean women from the actual continent, right?
I've seen Korean women.
the peninsula.
Let me finish, right? What I'm telling you is, it's because of their diet they don't get big, right? Once they change that diet, that ass then pops, bro.
Let me say this to what Compassionate was saying. If black women lose that ass market share, bro.
Oh my God. Kim Kardashian chipped away a lot
and
of that
they
market share
hated
already.
that. That's one of the reasons. Oh, and I get it.
Bro,
right?
that's why the BBL epidemic blew up like it was.
Yeah, because of her.
They were trying to reclaim some more market share that they lost by over exaggerating the asses. But if they lose it to Koreans and Japanese, if Asian chicks get ass and cut and a nice little cuff, it's over with, bro.
As I normally do when I clip Mr. Z's streams, I'm going to implore you to go listen to the stream, because later in the stream, there was a much more pertinent conversation about more than just when the quote unquote ass pops. That was worthy of almost being clipped and downloaded. But I'll let you go listen to it to hear that part of it. That said, it's very important to remember that what plus size is in one area is not what plus size is in another area. And so when black men are going around the world to see new opportunities, it's important to remember that we come from a very captive situation where we're essentially told what we can do, who we can date, how we can date them, what we're supposed to do as a man, what we're doing wrong, how bad of people we are. It's a very long, exhaustive list of how many things that black men get wrong. And getting away from that list is a new kind of freedom, which was talked about later in that stream, which you should go listen to with an appearance from the nameless protagonist. Getting away from that is a freedom that black men not only should experience and enjoy, but I think it's something that we need. If we're part of a dysfunctional culture that's not going to look out for what we want in our relationships, then going overseas is just part of the healing process for finding a situation that's going to be better for us. Us men that don't have kids, that are law-abiding citizens, that aren't the men that are being complained about all the time on social media. You could find your Yue Dabao or her cousin, twin young lady who works at the bookstore, who thinks she's overweight, and most of the guys kind of walk by her. And when you see her, you see the woman that you're looking for in the shape you're looking for all of your life. Get out and see the world, gentlemen. 8 billion people, and your Yue Dabao is probably out there somewhere wondering if she's good enough and cute enough for a man to fall in love with her, when maybe she just hasn't met the right man, who happens to be you. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, comment below. I'll catch you next video. Take care, guys.